Love is Blind stars Tіффані Pennywell and Brettta Brauна are proof the Netflix pod experiment works. The design director and Tіффані sparked an instant connection in the season 4 pods, which aired on Netflix in March 2023. After days of deep conversation, Brettt admitted that he was falling in love with the client lead recruiter without ever seeing her face. Tіfфaní, however, missed hearing her pod beau say those 3 words because she unintentionally fell asleep mid-conversation. The former video game designer was initially ready to give up on their love story, thinking that Tіfфaní had ghosted him after hearing his emotional confession. When the truth came out, Brettt was relieved and even opted to pop the question. The Houston, Texas, native said yes, and they were eager to meet in person. As the pair tested their physical chemistry in the real world, they rarely saw any issues to overcome. I didn't really have a lot of challenges. I would say, the thing that we really needed to focus on was how we were going to combine our lives together, Tіfфaní exclusively told Us Weekly in March 2023. Brettt was living in Portland, I was in Seattle, so it's what does that look like? Luckily, I was already ending my lease, so the timing was just perfect, but it was more of how do I fit my stuff into his place? How is it gonna be for me working remotely? The Netflix bride was a tad worried about how Brettt would handle their joint life. He hadn't lived with anybody before me, she confessed to us. I was used to living with my friends, and we had a blast together. I'm used to sharing a space, so I was more concerned how he would do with sharing a space together. After working through new residential dynamics, Tіfфaní felt overwhelmed and all over the place trying to plan their nuptials and keep up with work. Brettt held his love in his arms during one Love is Blind scene, consoling and validating her feelings amid their unconventional and accelerated relationship timeline. Several days later, the reality TV groom, who is an amateur photographer, surprised Tіfфaní with an engagement photo shoot. As we were talking through her emotions, I asked her if I could take her picture, which is something I had wanted to do for some time, Brettt wrote via Instagram in April 2023, detailing the unaired scene. She wasn't up for it initially, being that she was literally just in tears, but she eventually said yes so that we could end the evening with some fun and it would take her mind off the stresses of everything that was going on. He continued, I could tell while shooting that she didn't feel like her best self, but I could see her beauty through the lens of my camera. This moment was everything to me, and I'm glad my art was able to bring her happiness. By the time the pair's wedding day rolled around, they were each certain that one another would say, I do. I felt like I really got to know Brettt. I got to know him for who he is, and I was just he would have shocked me if he said no, Tіfфaní recalled to us. But just being at the altar, I had no doubt in my mind that was who I wanted to be with.